Alright.
Let's do this. New best of 5, brand new. In the bottom left, as the red Terran, he is GuMiho.
And in the top left, we have the blue Zerg player. Give it up for Horror.
Woohoo! Hate casting this guy. You say his name too quickly and just gonna get banned on stream, right?
I didn't realize it was a banned word.
Maybe, I don't know. Can't show your feet on stream. All types of just strict on Twitch, aren't they?
Oh yeah, of course.
Which is too bad.
I still never understood that rule. I really never understood that rule.
So I don't know the exact reason, right? I don't think they probably didn't give one, you know? Like, we're doing this because of X happening. But I bet it's because of how many, like, girls, probably, were making tons of money off of foot fetish. Like, you have no idea, guys. Like, I don't understand what it is. Like, foot fetish has to be, like, the most popular ones in the whole world, okay, first off. But you wouldn't believe that unless you were like a woman on like a dating site. My friend was on a dating site for a day, and she got like 3 people asking her for foot pictures, and they'd be willing to pay for it too, like, you know, $10 a picture. It's a lot of money.
I mean, okay, look, I'm not the kind of person who ever gets like people asking me to send them awesome, like, I don't know, foot pictures or whatever, so I don't quite get, maybe I'm not, like, fully embracing, like, how weird this is and how weird it would feel. But I'd be okay with sending someone pictures of my feet if they were gonna pay me for it. Like, I wouldn't feel super, like, I mean, like, okay, I would be weirded out for sure, but I wouldn't feel, like, violated in any way, or I wouldn't feel like, oh my god, like, this is in violation of my privacy and all this kind of. I'd be like, yo, I mean, if you're gonna pay me for this, sure, like, whatever, man.
So it's always like it's the fear of the spiral down, though. Like, that's the worst part. Is that first you actually get the money for the foot pictures, and then they start asking you for other things, and then you say no, and then they start actually saying, well, you gave me this, so I don't give me this. I mean, that's the reason I never respond to any of the creepy comments that I get from like messages, because I'm pretty sure I'm like. One day, I'm gonna respond, and then they're gonna show up at my door with, like, rope, and I'm just gonna be in trouble.
You responded, you love me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay, really quickly about this game, we do have, again, Arena. Roachwarren was being made, but the Reaper moves in and scouts it, and then Roachwarren gets canceled. The Reaper's just gonna make its way out, so GuMiho not gonna realize that there is not gonna be that typical Roach aggression that you were talking about.
Yeah, very common on this map. So GuMiho scouting specifically for that saves him from having to deal with it. But Horror goes for a fast lair instead, and I don't know if the Reaper's going to be able to scout that.
So how do you feel like this is going to create or like force out a different reaction of how GuMiho would like to respond? Obviously, I think the bunkers are a really, really big part of this, but either way, GuMiho was going to probably be pumping out as many of these Marines as possible to try and deal with the Ravager attack, right?
So the way that's going to be different here is, one, he doesn't need this extra bunker, so it's already, you know, minerals wasted. But 2, you go for the tank drop. So if you try and do a little bit fancy footwork with the first tank drop actually being harassment based, you're going to die, and that's going to be a waste. If you go for the straight up push, which is most common, it still can work. It's just that mutas will deal better with it than those roaches would. So it's all about that surprise and how safe GuMiho plays with this very small task force.
Well, the nice thing about GuMiho's position is the fact that he says, oh, well, there's not a Ravager attack? Well, I guess I can just go for an attack with all of these units that I made. Of course, the bunker not going to be able to join him on this attack, but Seashanks and Marine still going to be able to get some damage done over here.
Uh-oh. Just pushing without the second tank is giving him some super sick timing here, is that Spire's only halfway done. Ling speed was not even started. GuMiho can't win with this, right? This can't be it.
This is, I don't know, the Zergling speed isn't even finished up, and that Seashank positioning is pretty god tier right now.
This is really taking advantage of the fact that we went for a Spire. If he had waited for that second siege tank, it would have been so much closer in time, you know? But now it's rolling forward. The Mutalisk, Horror is trying to save money for Mutalisk, but it's only going to be about 4. Not going to be the greatest at picking off tanks. There's only 3 Marines. Give me such a small Marine reinforcement.
Oh, Seachank's friendly fire actually does manage to kill his own Seachank over there, which does sort of suck, but he's done so much damage already just by how many of these extra units that he forced out early on. The Mutals, as you said, are not going to be coming out in massive numbers. Now the Liberator is in the mix. Like,
he's gonna get the eggs. Oh, he's gonna get the eggs.
Oh, that means that only 2 of these Mutals are actually going to pop. Okay, one of the Mutals should be able to pop out.
Yeah, the Marines can cover that though. Oh my god, this is snowballed.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Wow.
Nerf Liberator damage versus eggs. Oh my god.
Right? Oh, my camera's still going strong. Sorry, Apollo. Oh, wow. Well, GuMiho, very nicely done. It is now going to be Horror's map choice. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, alright, people are now in the chat, they're catching up with the stream.
Nah.
Talking like, oh, so send Fear Dragon $10 for a feet picture. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm simply gonna feel comfortable with this.
Now you know.
Now I know. This is how it's felt. All this time I had no idea.
In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, he is Horror.
And in the top left, we have the red Terran player, GuMiho.
Yeah. Vertical spawns. Horizontal seems to be the just most action-packed, but vertical, still, not a very long distance from here to here.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about, I mean, obviously, of course, everything taken with a grain of salt, because that last map was Arena. Arena, you just have to think about things a little bit differently. But the way that GuMiho had played that, or sorry, Horror had played that out was trying to go for those roaches early on, as you typically do on Arena, but then canceling the roach horn. And ultimately, he ended up just dying to the push out of units, including the Seachank and everything, that he had forced GuMiho to feel like he needed to make immediately to defend. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna bait you into making all those units, and oh wait, you could just kill me with those units. Like, that sort of weird push out timing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something we can see on Lairlac, or is the map just way too big?
Not that early of a push, I wouldn't say, and in these positions too. So what's so abusive about Arena is actually similar to what can happen on Lairlac with this ledge right here, if GuMiho was to the right. Since he's to the north, I think he's going to want to wait till he has at least 2 tanks, but probably Sim too, because he's gonna have to push past this point and then get to this point. It's all dependent, I guess, on GuMiho. GuMiho has done a couple of 3cc builds against Zerg on this map, though, so it's not guaranteed he's gonna go for 2 base.
One other kind of interesting thing is we are once again in a situation where those third expansions the third expansion for Horror is going to be expanding toward GuMiho, the in-base one at least.
Okay, this is odd. We already have a backup SCV. What? What?
Well, this is like the ideal situation. Oh god, this is the ideal situation. You even get the Zerglings in to the main base?
Yes. This is definitely the ideal situation of an early pool, which is exactly what he did. So the Reaper, unfortunately, also scouted incorrectly, so that was another big part as to why this worked out, is GuMiho did not bother scouting with an SCV. Otherwise, his Reaper might have seen them on the way. That's why Horror did the big dodge around the Xel'Naga, and this Ling gets a great scouting, delays the command center. He's not going to be able to follow up quite in time for the cancel, but he's definitely going to get a lift off, because he's going to a Baneling bust after this. Ooh.
Oh boy, this is actually really great, and probably has to do a little bit with the fact that you scouted out Factory and Starport being thrown down, and when you go for that, you're not going to have as many, I mean, just straight up, you're not going to have as many Marines. You're also getting up the reactor on that Factory, so your barracks wasn't actually producing any Marines for a while because of that.
So it is a very good thing that GuMiho is going for Hellions. He would have been okay with a tank drop too, but Hellions are going to be able to really take care of the Ling follow-up to the Banelings that tanks would have had a more difficult time with. Now the Reapers saw how many Lings there were, And he is actually so confident in his Hellion control that that's what he's depending on to hold on. He's actually going to try and get a bunker. There wouldn't be much to go into the bunker in the first place, but we do see those are the best Hellion control can take on Ling Baneling busts with purely Hellions. It's quite impressive stuff.
Yeah. Do you like the fact that GuMiho is staying back inside his main base with his Hellions, or do you like Terran players that are a little bit more aggressive and try and take out those Banelings and Zerglings as they make their way to the ramp?
No.
Well, actually.
If you've already been taken off of your natural, definitely keep them in the main base. Now, there's that Hellion control. Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I really like this positioning.
Ooh.
But then he gets trapped. I don't like the positioning anymore. JK, take it all back.
Well, the Banelings are now out, but the Banshee's gonna pop out. He's gonna be able to take out at least one of these Banelings before they get into the mineral line. Gonna be able to take out both of them, actually, with some good target fire. And now he just needs to try and complete this wall off again. There's not any more Zerglings being rallied across the map.
Yeah, that's a big delay in the larva is really killing Horror's momentum here, as now the Lings are across the map, but now he just, walk to the command center.
That's actually really clever. Well, another flood of these Zerglings is coming out. As you were saying, so delay in that larva. There were drones coming up behind this. And that one awkward Hellion, well, I guess very well positioned Hellion. Gonna bait all these Zerglings in and be able to take out some of them at least.
More Hellions are about to pop out here.
Oh, that's not a complete wall off.
No, it is not. SCV was trying to hold off too, but that is going to be a couple more SCVs killed. The Banshee is trying to do damage, but then it parks itself over a Spore Crawler and doesn't even get the Queen for it. I've definitely seen better Hellion control from GuMiho. He's a little bit off in this game. It's not game over yet. In fact, it's still pretty okay. Only down by about 11 workers with two mules eventually as he sends his command center over. This Banshee could also maybe get a couple of drone kills. It should get a couple of drone kills. Just picking off the ones on the gas geyser and whatnot. Oh, the Hellions get a couple of drone kills. Oh, do you have any more Lings? Oh, he does not.
He's only droning up right now. Oh, Horror doesn't realize the counterattack is coming, I don't think. Like, he's only getting up those speeds right now.
He's going for it. Like, I mean, GuMiho could have been really, really safe and not dived in here figuring there's going to be more Lings, but actually going for it is going to get him a lot of drone kills, definitely eating up that worker counts.
Oh!
Very nicely done.
Being able to kill off even one of those Hellions is actually a pretty big deal, because 3 Hellions is a pretty magic number to try and pick off those drones as quickly as possible. But, well, the Banshee does go uncontested for a little bit now.
Yeah. Horror still up by 6 workers, but that's definitely doable with 2 mules, and actually a couple more than 2 mules, because of course he's been baking up a lot of that energy. So very nicely done. This is also scouted, I believe, the lair at the very least. Not the spire, but you can kind of figure that they're going to go into spire after Baneling bust. And he will have to deal with that. That's going to be a little difficult. He has stim. He's going to have combat shields, just not a lot of marines. Engineer Bay is only finishing up 2. Very close.
Well, as the Spire is going to be finishing up, the next round of Larva pops out, and we're going to be seeing, I mean, a maximum of 4, maybe 5 mules being made. So, I mean, not a whole lot of mules, but it's definitely going to be enough to at least deal with the Banshees, if the Banshee's ever trying to get aggressive. And, they're actually might be picking the, well, I want to say they're picking the wrong time to be aggressive, but the mules haven't been started.
Yeah, he's not supply blocked quite yet, but he's getting there, so maybe holding off for that. 2 Banshees, just 2 Queens. Not something GuMiho wants to take here. Unfortunately, the meat is on the way. Like, he's gonna have to use them somehow. And they might just be cannon fodder for those mutas. It goes in, get a couple of last kills with your dying breath. Come on now, Banshees.
Well, yeah, looks like they're gonna get exactly that, killing off some of those drones and gases you were talking about. And hey, they're not actually being put on gas just yet, and even though that might not seem like a big deal, I honestly feel like that already has been enough gas that's not been mined for a little bit that he probably could have made an extra Mutalisk or 2.
8 more drones in total went down there, bringing up to a total of 18. Mutas are going to be denied by a missile turret just so close to finishing, but the Marines are here with stim. And this is looking really good for GuMiho. He's only down by 4 workers. He's up in the army supply. He's going to have medevacs. Well, he already has medevacs. He's going to have more medevacs soon and more Marines, and he could push. Yeah,
this is kind of a weird game and how it's shaped out and everything. With GuMiho, he's going to be pumping out some of those Widow Mines, going to be getting ready, and as the main big problem, I think, is he's just going to need to make sure that he has enough back at home to defend against the Mutalisk and push them back. And he's going to leave, finally, a couple of these Marines back at home, stemming up, and I guess relying on the missile turret as well as the rally, but here we go. Push is coming in. Banelings are being morphed in.
Yeah, definitely needs banelings. Won't have speed on them, of course. GuMiho, not with the biggest army, but his splits can be good, and oh, the Widowmine actually targets down the banelings. He could try and target down the last
Ooh.
couple. He's going to. One more.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Oh, Mutale's being transfused right now by the Queens that have a lot of energy, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Mutals are all going down, and I think with it, Horror's chances of defending against the aggression very easily. There's not exactly that many units left over, but GuMiho has enough. GG.
GG. GuMiho goes up 2-0 against the Zerg player. I mean, Horror is known for being pretty cheesy in all matchups, and I think GuMiho is probably aware of that and just has some nice control, but maybe he'll mix it up in the next game. It is, once again, his map choice.
Well, we have a situation now where GuMiho is one game away from making it to that grand finals to play in another TvZ against Sulky. Just because we've been so TvZ heavy today. I'm really glad that we at least had one Terran versus Protoss. We didn't cover, like, I don't know, Labyrinth versus Demilove or something, because then we would have literally only had TvZs today.
Yeah. That's why I was looking towards the Protosses first. That's why we always do in the Olimoleague. Because you figure they're going to die.
So sad. So sad.
It is.
Oh.
In the bottom right, speaking of, he's the Red Zerg Horror.
And in the top left, we have the blue Terran player. It's GuMiho.
So, I don't know if Gumiho's ever going to go for a non-Reaper opener against this guy here, being so cheesy and wonky. But if he ever did, then Horror could go for another Baneling bust. I mean, this is a guy that he went for Roach Baneling every single game against another Zerg in a best of 5. So, repetition is not something he's afraid of.
Yeah, sometimes the most unpredictable thing is to just do the same thing over and over again. And expect a different result, I guess? That's the definition of insanity.
I was about to say. Isn't that what everyone talks about? Well, there are so many...
You have to be a little bit insane.
That's true. There are so many choices for Horror as far as all-ins go, though, so... It's, you don't have to. You can go for Roaches, you can go for a Nidus Worm, just a straight-up Nidus Worm, not with the Overlord drops. Or you could go for Greed. Cheesiest thing a cheesy player does is play a macro game, right? Something like that?
Yeah, I think that was the saying. One other kind of thing that I think you kind of mentioned, like overload drops and stuff, but one kind of thing that I have seen a couple of players do occasionally, especially on Prime Terraces, is I've seen a lot of players really like to go for like the Baneling drops actually into the main base. So not going necessarily for like the Roach drops that we saw Sulky go for, but you drop a couple of Banelings in, you try and get some damage done while you poke in at the front. And a lot of the times I think players just aren't prepared for that because, you know, you aren't anticipating the drops in your main base. Granted, I say that I've seen this a decent amount, so maybe Terran players are starting to catch on to that now.
Yeah, maybe. We see that a lot in ZvZ, for sure.
Yeah.
But oh, look at
Especially
this.
ZvZ.
Look at this.
Well, Roach Horn going to be on the way. Looks like we're not going to be seeing a super fast Baneling nest or anything like that. And there's... Actually, this is something worth noting. We're talking about like overload drops and everything. The overlords just didn't really move out.
Yeah. Good point. They're just staying over here, so definitely not going to be overload drops.
That's I know that's for certain, certain, but really strange. Anyways, that the overlords are just chilling out in a very, very close by position, not really getting any scout off whatsoever. In fact, the Reaper is pretty much the only scout that he's gotten so far, and saying, "Oh, you got 2 Reapers. Okay, that's fascinating."
Yeah, interesting choice from GuMiho to go for 2. Maybe he just really wants that scouting, or maybe he really wants some drone kills. Now, seeing the lack of Ling speed soon is going to be a tell, but he's also going to try and get into the main base while he sees the Roaches, so there's the tell. And he will have to sacrifice his natural. No, he's going to try and defend it with this bunker. Roaches are pretty slow. He's going for a tank. This could work out for GuMiho.
Yeah, a bit unfortunately went for that second Reaper. That's the thing, right? It's like, what is a second Reaper going to be able to do that one Reaper wasn't able to do? I feel like there's not a lot. I don't know.
Well,
Weird decision to me.
Third base goes down behind this push, so not overcommitting like Sulky did.
And Bunker and Supply Depot should both be finishing up in time. Ravager is starting, but it's literally Ravager. It's not Ravagers. Here we go. Finally starting up some of those other ones. But yeah, GuMiho's going to have a lot of time to get the siege tanks to position. Oh god, that was close.
Yeah. So the bunker might go down here. Oh, jeez, jivin'. No, it's not. It is pretty close, but only 2 SCVs killed in this attack, and that was a pretty perfect defense from GuMiho. 2-1, actually. I guess the Reaper's got a drone kill. Like I said, you know, he was going for this gold base behind it, so he's not, you know, SOL quite yet because he wasn't able to deal more damage. But the tank drop is going to be able to chase the roaches back. He can try and deal damage directly to the economy, too, but one tank drop is usually not that big of a deal for Zergs to deal with.
Yeah, it does become a bit more of a problem when, say, like, the Liberator starts getting mixed in, as we do see a Liberator getting started, because a Liberator does make it a lot harder for example, the Queens to start picking away and chipping away at that medevac. It's suddenly, like, double zoning, and you can't just immediately plop down on top of that Siege Tank. Siege Tank, though, hasn't been able to get off a single shot yet after the defense.
But look at this odd push. Now, this worked on Arena a lot because Arena has a very abusive spots. And that was a pretty different opener, too. But I don't know if it's going to work here. Link speed isn't done. There are barely any roaches. The tanks are just out and about, though, like in the middle of kind of nowhere. The medevac's not going to be able to pick this up, either.
Yeah, well,
but there's nothing to defend here. He's supply blocked. Oh, he's making so many minerals.
Oh god, that's a huge problem. Overlord's finally finishing up, and now we can start some units, but how much is it going to lose in the meanwhile? The Queens are buying time. Siege Tank actually not participating in this fight right now, and maybe that's kind of the big blessing, but here comes the Liberator. Oh god, with all the Queens killed off, there's nothing to deal with the Liberator.
Yeah, well, the Queens are going to just have a hard time in general. Like, this tank is going to cover that now. The Marines could get over here, so they stop target firing the Liberator. And is this going to snowball again? Like, he started making drones thinking this is not such a big deal, and then made a panic amount of lings. But there's reinforcements, very small amount of reinforcements, mind you. But he's going to get the third. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
Wow, if Horde loses this third, like, I don't actually know how he comes back in this game. This wasn't an all-in, this was a big pressure play, and he has a third orbital command finish up behind this. He has all of his production going down and finishing up behind this. His engineering base, I think, that finished up recently.
Yeah. The only thing GuMiho doesn't have are those upgrades for stim and combat shield. So those are pretty delayed here, but he did so much damage. He still is not cleaning this up. He is going to lose the third base. He's going to lose all the drones as well. All of his queens go down to the Liberator. It's probably game. Even if he doesn't clean this up. It is. Oh my god.
The 3-0 from GuMiho with some of those games.
That
okay,
was impressive.
I feel like the term that I like to use when we see games like that is kind of just outclass. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. To make that much damage happen with just a small group of units, like to have it happen one game, okay, you get caught off guard. Have it happen multiple games, you're kind of just you're making either mistakes or you're just getting outplayed a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It's also just very brave of GuMiho, though. Like, I mean, I think another Zerg player who is an even footing, so maybe Sulky, which we're going into, by the way, is the last best of 7, would maybe died to it once on Arena, probably, right? But not twice. Like, he would have taken that more seriously if he had done the same thing that Horror did on Prion. But, well, actually, we may be able to see that exact situation, because the best of 7 is a lot of games. 2 maps will be replayed, too, so I think these guys are pretty evenly matched. But before we get into it, we are going to take a commercial break, so we see you guys on Dusk Towers when we get back.